I know I'm eating. It's live.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to a brand new episode of Schmoedown All Access. I, of course, am your host, C-Dub Christopher Woodburn. We got a bit of a skeleton crew today because people are busy elsewhere working or probably watching football, which is what I was doing. But first up, we got my co-host, the man running the ones and twos. He is the villain, Haven Pendergast. And next up, last but certainly not least, he is the con man, Caleb Boatman. What's cracking, Caleb?
Nothing much. I don't care enough about football to miss being on this show. So, yeah, I'm happy to be here. We got, only one match, but I think this is going to be a fun episode.
Definitely. All right, so yeah, we had Mark Yodi Riley making his return, taking on that dastardly Drew guy. Riley was hoping to get revenge on Drew for defeating his stablemate Dan Merle. And in this first match, it got off to a kind of a lukewarm start. Guy got 4 out of his 8 questions. Riley got 3. Couple of highlights on question 2. Guy thought, as well as did I, thought that John Carpenter directed the original The Hills Have Eyes. On question 3, they both thought that the film starring the film directed by why am I blank on his name? They thought the answer was Rear Window, directed.
Oh yeah, Hitchcock.
Yeah, Alfred Hitchcock. Thank you, Cal. Can't believe I forgot his name. And then on question 4, Guy almost completely shit the bed on the mask that was worn in the film Point Break. He started to answer Richard Nixon, but ultimately said the right answer, which was Ronald Reagan. And Guy was up 4-3. Caleb, I'll go to you first. Who did you want to win this match, and your thoughts on the first round?
Yeah. As far as who I wanted to win, I wanted Yodi to win. Yodi, he's one of the greats, all-time legend. Him, Merle, and John Roca were the original 3, heavy hitters of the Schmoedown. So it would have felt really good. As far as who I predicted was going to win, it was a coin toss because I think, Andrew Guy beat Dan Merle, and I think Mark Riley has kind of not been in his prime as of late. If you look at how he played at the free-for-all, he didn't do that great. I believe he got knocked out in his first round. He only lasted 1 round. Maybe I'm wrong about that. But I thought it could be Guy, it could be Riley. I wasn't quite sure. So, yeah, as far as this first round goes, yeah, I was kind of surprised that they missed a lot of these because I actually got a perfect round on this one. I knew all 8 of these. So I was a little surprised. But, it is what it is. Some people's strengths are some people's weaknesses and vice versa. So that is what it is. But I was a little surprised that going into that first round, the scores were so low.
Yeah, they were tough for me too. I only got 4 out of the 8. It felt good getting that Clint Eastwood question. How many times did he play Dirty Harry? I did know that. That was 5 times. Andrew and Riley both got that incorrect. But yeah, Haven.
Yeah, it's who I was rooting for. I obviously said it last week. I was rooting for Guy. Riley's he seemed like a really nice guy. I just never really cared for him. He was only relevant when he had Chris Wolf with him, and that didn't happen. So I don't know. It was the questions were okay. I knew the Wes Craven one because I actually wrote that question before. But yeah, Andrew Guy had the lead going into the second round, and I was happy about that. It was I like when he called back to the Dan Merle match when he asked the crowd, why are you so damn quiet? So it was good trash talking before the match, and it was a good first round. I think I had 5 out of 8 right. But Yeah, I was surprised at the score, but I guess it might have been something from last week. Last week both of the matches they were low scoring in the first round, and it seemed like continued in this week.
Yeah. So going into the second round, like I said, Guy, he was up by 1 point. He elected to defer to Riley. And they were saying, Riley was looking for scores and soundtracks, and that was what he spun, and he took it. Unfortunately for him, he did not fare well. He got one. He went 1 out of 4 for 1 point. Although Guy was unable to capitalize on 3 steal opportunities. And then Guy, he spun one of my favorite categories, Mr. Christopher Nolan, and he did pretty well. Got 3 out of 4 for 6 points. Riley was unable to capitalize on a steal. But Andrew Guy, again, man, got off to a good start, and he's up 10-4. What were your thoughts on that second round, Haven?
Yeah, that scores on soundtracks. I was surprised he kept it, but he did. I mean, Mark Riley, he's very knowledgeable in a lot of different ones. And, I shouldn't say I was surprised, but I know I wouldn't have picked that category, but he's a way better caliber player. He just couldn't get any. I thought the questions were fair. I mean, they might have been hard, but because I didn't know them. But, yeah, man, 1 point, that was not helping his overall score going into round 3. And then we had Guy, the legend killer. He spun your favorite category, so I know you probably were happy as hell, cheesing and smiling like a little kid with some cake and shit, but he did really well, The questions were good. I think I missed 2 of the questions, and so he did better than I did, obviously. But, yeah, he had the lead going into round 3.
Yeah. I can say, I mean, on the Nolan questions, I knew 3 out of the 4, and then when Riley's, I knew 2 of the 4, but one of them I would have guessed on multiple choice. Like I did know that Alan Silvestri did the score for The Abyss, but they were difficult questions, no doubt about it. Caleb?
Yeah, scores and soundtracks is a category that I think is one of the tougher ones because it can be so broad, because it can literally be who scored any movie ever. Like, there's no restriction on the genre, the era of movie. So it's really just a giant coin toss whether or not you're going to get it right or not. And so, but, it is something Mark Riley has been good with in the past, and it's something that, as we saw, it's tough to steal, but I'm not sure how wise of a decision it was for Riley to keep it. As far as Andrew Guy's round goes, yeah, it was a solid round. He did pretty good. I mean, Christopher Nolan, that's a category that is one I really like, and I know, of course, C-Dub, you're a big Nolan fan, as we can see behind you. But yeah, so going into the second round, it's a little disappointing to see Riley not do so well, because it's tough to watch a legend kind of fumble, with like the Dan Murrell Andrew Guy match, right? Dan Murrell was not giving like a bad performance. He got 6 points in round 1, and he had a tough category, but it still felt like he had a fighting chance going into round 3. But Mark Riley just kind of felt like you could predict the ending of the match at the beginning of round 2.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, the difference between Murrell's match and this match was, like I said, when he spun the wheel, they said he's looking for scores and soundtracks, and he got it. Whereas with Murrell, he got stuck with opponent's choice.
Yeah.
And had to suffer the category that Guy gave him. Yeah. So that was the difference. I mean, Riley, it might have been a strength in the past. I would suggest boning up on that category for the future.
Yeah.
All right, so yeah, going into round 3, Andrew had a decent lead, 10-4. He gave his numbers, which were the same numbers that Bateman gave in last week's match, 3, 7, and 17. Riley went with 12, 8, and 20. Riley's 2-pointer was in the category of Oscars. Eddie Murphy earned the Oscar nomination for his performance in which musical? He gets that correct. Dreamgirls. I think most people would have gotten that. His three-pointer was in Coming of Age. Wolfman Jack spins classic rock and roll tunes in a small California town. In what 1973 Coming of Age classic? He gets that correct. American Graffiti. And then his five-pointer, which I ain't gonna lie, I had no freaking clue on, was category of Disney. What is the name of the kingdom in which the movie Frozen takes place? He guessed Eldad, which is it was pretty funny. When I heard him guess that answer, that was actually the name of a character who made a brief appearance in an episode of Friends. That was pretty funny. But the answer was Arendelle. So again, Andrew Guy, the legend killer, pulls out the 10-9 victory. Caleb, thoughts on the match?
Well, yeah, you know, like I said, it's tough to watch that with Riley, but he did good with those first two round three questions. You know, Dreamgirls question, as you said, that's a pretty easy one. The American Graffiti one, I don't think that's a real easy question. I mean, I knew it, but I think that's a question that, you know, would stump a lot of people since it's an older film and it's kind of a specific one that you kind of need to see the movie in order to know. As far as his five-pointer, I didn't think it was that hard. Maybe it's just because I knew it, but I thought that was an easy five-pointer. Maybe not an easy five-pointer, but not a difficult five-pointer anyway. I knew that one pretty well, but you know, like we always say, it's always subjective on this show because there are going to be things that you think are like one of the toughest questions, and it's going to be a piece of cake, and vice versa. So that's the way the Schmoedown is, and that's what makes it great. So yeah, it's tough to watch Riley lose, but you know, it'll be good to see Guy play Roca. I think that's going to be a really fun match. And even though I'm not sure, like, I want Roca to win, but I really want to see what Andrew Guy would be like at a title match. That would be, or if he potentially becomes the champion, like, what? So yeah, back to you.
Yeah, I mean, I will say, his upcoming match, I'm a big fan of the Outlaw. I want to see Guy win that match. I want to see him at least compete for that championship, because that would be it would be insanity if he becomes the champion.
Yeah.
Haven?
Yeah, Riley's 5-point question was not a 5-point question. They asked that before in the Schmoedown last year, I think, and I'm really thinking it was a tag team match between him and Clark Wolf, because that question was asked before, because I knew the answer because I was watching Once Upon a Time, and you know they bring in the characters from Disney because I haven't seen Frozen, and I actually wrote that question before. So it was surprising that he got that one wrong. His first two questions were you know 2 points, 3 points, but for the 5-point question, I was like really? I was like, this is a 5-pointer? Like, I was like, we just had a tag team match the other day, and you know, Cito was actually playing in it. He was like, oh, that's not a 5-point. And I'm like, that was not a 5-pointer. Like, I was like, they've asked that question before, literally last year. So like for him not to know that one, it really stumped me. Maybe he just blanked. You know, I know he didn't say nothing in the post-game interview, but I honestly think that he's gotten that question before. And I think it was in a team match. I'm gonna have to go back and check, but that question was asked before in the Schmoedown, because I wrote that question myself, and I was like, oh shit, I wrote that question when they asked it. I was like, oh, I know that answer because of, you know, watching Once Upon a Time. So for him to miss that one, I think he might have just drew a blank. I mean, he did ask for a repeat, and I thought maybe he was just gonna pull it at the end, and when he didn't, it was like, wow, like it would have been, I don't know what would have happened, you know, if it would have went back to Andrew Guy, because that's pretty much a common question, maybe a 2-pointer, you know, because that movie was so popular. But wow, 5-pointer, and to miss that one, holy shit, he was scrubbing that day.
Yeah, I mean, I think we can all agree Ring Rust in the Schmoedown it's a real thing.
Nope,
And
no.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure if that question's been asked before. I don't remember it being asked, but I tend to block out those animated movie questions once I hear them. But yeah, I mean, Guy, man, he's. I mean, I've seen some people saying that, like, a 10 points in a win isn't like, let's pump the brakes a little bit. And I guess to a certain degree, it's kind of true. But still, I mean, Guy's hot.
A win's a win, man. No matter if it's 10
Oh,
points.
yeah.
Or
No, you're right.
So,
I mean, he didn't get to answer any round 3 questions, so he could have potentially ended up with 20 points.
It ain't his fault. Give him a better opponent, and he'll answer third round questions.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm so excited. I'm assuming you're gonna take Guy to defeat Roka to face Bibbs for the belt.
Yeah, I mean, after Roka's last match, I mean, yeah, I love Roka to death. I've said it before here, but yeah, it's time for new blood, man. Andrew Guy's on a hot streak, and I think he could get in their heads, And if Roka, I don't know if he's got to put the blindfold on or in the mask and earmuffs and whatever, but I don't know. I mean, Andrew Guy's a hell of a competitor, with a presence. So he could get in the heads. Maybe I'll have Roka miss some questions that and he answers some. But yeah, I'm going with Guy.
Yeah. All right, well, we didn't have much to talk about for people out there for this match, but we're going to break down our entire Anarchy Team tournament brackets. Haven, I'll go to you first on if you have your all the matchups prepared to give who's going to win each match.
You want me to go list? Oh, I didn't know. I thought we were just going to go, like, you say what the first match, then we say something.
Yeah, let's do it that way.
Okay,
all right. All right, so last night we know that the live event took place.
Mm-hmm.
We had Mara Kanopik pinching Inman for the title. By the way, Mara, you are the best, and I hope that you are the new IG champion. But first up, we have the Outlaw John Roca and Dangerous Dan Murrell taking on Sassy Stacey Howard and Winston Marshall. I think most people are, Stacey and Marshall, they're good competitors, but how good of a shot did they really have to beat Roca and Murrell, especially given how hungry Murrell is after that loss to Guy. So I think the clear cut here is Roca and Murrell. Caleb?
Yeah, I agree. I think Stacey Howard and Winston Marshall aren't like great players. Stacey Howard has had some good plays in the past, but she never really like played super well. In the triple threat match, if I recall, she was the weakest of the three.
She got eliminated first.
What? Yeah, she got eliminated first. So yeah, and then Winston Marshall, he's a solid player, but he kind of gets overshadowed by Eric Zipper on the World's Finest. So yeah, I do not give them good chances for beating John Roca and Dan Murrell. I think this is going to be pretty easy, and it would be a bigger upset than Andrew Guy beating Dan Murrell if they won. I think it's a bigger upset than that.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Haven?
Yeah, man. I had the Horseman winning until I learned what happened last night, man. So yeah.
Wait, what?
Yeah, Bateman came out and he hit Dan Murrell with a steel chair on the back, man. And the Andrew Guy ran up, man. He speared Roca. Came, they had to cut it short. By default, Stacey and her partner won. Well, I mean, yeah, that's what I think happened. And I'm gonna stick to that story.
All right, so next up we got KO Mike Kalinowski and our good buddy Chance Ellison taking on a person who's appeared on Schmoedown All Access, lovely woman Rachel Silvestrini and Devon Stewart from the Kingsmen. I think, again, most people, they're going to take Kalinowski and Chance Ellison, especially if you know how good Chance Ellison is. Haven, what say you?
I think this match is going to be closer than people think, especially all the people that play online, in the online community. Chance has a respectable rep that he, deserves because he is a great player. But Mike Kalinowski is, he's a okay player. It's not an IG match, so he's not like getting bombarded with DC or Harry Potter questions. I think that Rachel and her partner, I think her partner is going to match well with Chance, and I think she's going to actually match up well with Mike. So I think at the end of the match, I think it's going to be closer than people expected. But I see Mike and Chance probably edging that win out.
Yeah. Caleb?
Yeah, I agree with you, Haven, to a certain extent that Kalinowski is definitely going to be the weaker player between Kalinowski and Ellison. I think, Kalinowski, he's really good in IG, but when it comes to movies, I don't know. I don't really feel like he's ever gotten to like super good. He's had some wins that have been pretty impressive, but overall, I just don't quite feel that, excellence in Mike Kalinowski when it comes to movies. I do have Kalinowski and Ellison beating Silvestrini and Stewart, which is, I don't like to say that because Silvestrini is the only person on this list that I've ever actually talked to before. I've never actually met Chance Ellison like you guys have. Like you guys have done trivia matches with him. I haven't. So Rachel Silvestrini is super awesome, and that one episode of All Access she was on was great. So I had to say that, but really, it's not Silvestrini's fault. It's Devon Stewart. I don't think he was that good of a player on the Kingsmen. Maybe that's just because I kind of am bunching the Kingsmen together, and that team wasn't that great. But I don't know. I'm not feeling that team winning. I'm thinking it's going to be Kalinowski and Ellison.
Yeah. All right, next up. Now, this is a match that could go either way. We got the current singles champion, the Beast William Bibiani, and mighty Matt Nose taking on Ethan Irwin and Sabina Graves. Now, I'll say this. Sabina, lovely competitor, knows her stuff. Ethan, of course, he was for a while my front runner for Rookie of the Year, but Mark Konopik has taken that spot. Great competitors, but me personally, I got Bibbs and Nose winning this. Bibiani, he's a champion. Nose is a former champion. I think that gives them the edge. Caleb, what do you think?
Yeah, I agree. I've got Bibiani and Nose taking this. I think, this is a team that a lot of people are kind of sleeping on. And I think this is a team that are going to do very well in this because Bibiani, obviously he's a great player, but he's been on kind of a hot streak ever since the free-for-all. He's just been playing so well. And I think Matt Nose is a player that doesn't quite get enough credit because I think he's a great support player. I think he's great at kind of picking up those areas where some people might not. And Bibiani and Nose have a secret weapon. They're being managed by Emma Fife. Emma Fife, here's the thing, though. As a manager, Emma Fife is simply the best because she actually works with her players and helps them study, helps them get better. Now, there's a chance she might not actually do this with Bibiani and Nose, considering it's an anarchy team and they're not really part of her Fife club. But there have been videos of her on Twitter working with Rachel and Clark and Andraco, and it really seems like they're studying hard and really practicing. And so I've got Bibiani Nose, but Irwin and Graves, that's a team that, had they been faced up against someone else, could have been potentially going farther. But because I think that's a team that kind of matches each other's weaknesses a little bit. I think Sabina kind of picks up some of the areas that Irwin might not be as good at, but still, I think Bibiani Nose is going to be such a good team.
Yeah. Haven?
I think this one's another one. I think this is going to be the shocker because Bibiani is a champion right now. Matt Nose is a former team champion. But I think that Irwin, because I think Bibiani's gonna. I don't know. He just got the title. He might be focusing on just like keeping the title, maybe getting out the tournament early so he could just like train for his next competitor, either Roca or Guy. So he's probably like looking at that stuff, because if he's focused on his tournament, then he ain't gonna be focused on singles. So I don't know. I think that I think this one's gonna be the upset. I think the other team is gonna take it on a surprise. Just maybe. And Matt Knows is a great competitor. He's always represented in the team match. But I think the other team might have a little more chemistry, might have more to fight for.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, this match could go either way. Like, I give Irwin and Graves definitely a solid chance to win. I gave the slight edge to Bibbs and Notes. All right, so next up we got Mark Riley, who had just made his return in kind of unspectacular fashion, teaming up with the boss, Ben Bateman. Damn, that's going to be a crazy team to watch. And they're going to be taking on Eric Zipper and Haley Fouch. Now, again, I mean, Riley made his return. He didn't do quite well. Bateman, he lost his last match, but he's been playing pretty well this year. I mean, I got them winning this match, but Zipper and Fouts are not going to go quietly into the night. I mean, Zipper, I love his enthusiasm that he plays with. Haley, she's had some success in the league, but I will go with Riley and Bateman to win this match. Haven, what do you think?
It's crazy. Both of these guys coming off losses. These two losers paired together for this match. I think if I'm not mistaken, I wish everybody had team names, because shit, I don't have my list in front of me because I don't want to be distracted while we're talking to you guys. They're playing against Zipper and
Haley Fouch.
Haley Fouch.
Fouch. I didn't want to say her last name incorrect. I think Fouch is going to be the X factor in this match. If she plays extremely great, then her team is going to get the win, because Zipper is consistent. That's who I'm gonna pick, because the other two guys lost. They have other people that they rather be around. They got one has a stable, one has a brother that's gonna be focused on winning the the singles title. So I think I don't think the chemistry is gonna be there. Since they both took a loss. If anything, Bateman might carry Riley for a couple rounds, but I think Zipper and Fouch get this one.
All right, Kel?
Yeah, I'm also taking the upset. I think that Zipper and Fouch are going to take this one. I think that Haley Fouch is a super undervalued player in this league. If you saw the last match that she played with Only Stupid Answers, she was super good in that match. She played very well. And Eric Zipper's a solid player, and I think this team is going to do very well together. I think for the reasons that Hayden just said, both these players are coming off a loss. Riley didn't play that well. Bateman, he did all right. But yeah, I've got Zipper and Fouch winning this one in the upset.
Definitely. All right, so next up we got the Snyder, Jeff Snyder, and the Android Mark Andraco. They're going to be facing the Mance Man, Scott Mance, and Sean Gerber. Now, Snyder's coming off, his match was a little while ago, but probably one of the ugliest losses I'd ever seen in his match against Bibbs. Andraco coming off the loss to Bibiani for the title, which was a pretty good match. I'm taking them to win this. I mean, Mance, he can get kind of crazy out there, as we all seen. We don't know if Sean Gerber can keep him reeled in. I mean, Gerber, he's all right. He didn't have a great showing in his last match in the IG tournament against Donica. Plus, who knows what really his knowledge is beyond IG. So I'm definitely taking Snyder and Draco. Caleb, how about you?
Well, we do know a little bit of what Gerber's knowledge is beyond IG, because he's played in team matches before with Superhero News. Or wait, what team is he on? Is it Superhero News?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So he's played in team matches before, but yeah, I've got Snyder and Draco as well. I hate to vote against Scott Mance because I love Scott Mance so much. He's the best. He's the best. But man, if he had been given a better teammate, I think this is a team that's a team that could have gone far. But he was stuck with kind of a lower level player with Sean Gerber. Not like a bad player, but just kind of lower level. So, yeah, I've got Snyder and Draco. The question on how far that team will go after that is really answered by if Snyder is in it 100%, or if he's still kind of got the same bad attitude that he did at the Bibiani match.
Yeah. I know Draco wouldn't like that if he gave that kind of attitude.
Yeah.
That wouldn't well with him. Haven?
This is one that could go either way. I mean, I did pick Draco and Snyder to win this one, hands down. But if the chemistry ain't there and they both kind of play lackluster, then Scott Mance and his partner Gerber could probably take it. But I'm putting my money on Draco and Snyder, even though they could get eliminated if they don't work together. But I hope they work together. I think they both have a lot to prove. And if they can function as a team, I have them winning this match.
Yeah. All right, next up, we got another fan favorite. She started out as a reactor. We have Janine the Machine and newcomer to the scene, Brian Walton, will be taking on Matt Atchity and Alonso Duralde. Now, again, Janine's the best. I'm always going to root for her. I really don't know much about this Brian Walton guy. And I got to go with Atchie and Duralde. I mean, they're both strong competitors. And unless this guy, Brian Walton, is like a secret gem, I got Atchie and Duralde taking this match. What do you think, Haven?
This is another one where I don't think I've seen a picture of the guy, no bio, no like anything like, so I don't know, like at least the other two players that are coming in brand new, we know them, Rachel, she was on here, a couple weeks back with the All Access. And of course, Chance Ellison, like we've talked to him, we've seen him play, we played against him. So this is a wild card because, man, if the teams didn't get breaking up, Janine, I think would have been in a better place before, now that she has a new partner. Oh, man, I kind of feel bad. I mean, is Jay Washington still being their manager? Yeah. Oh, okay, well, I mean, she's a solid player. I don't know, man. This is a toss-up. I'm going to go with shit. You know what? I'll take Janine and her team. I trust her. She's a favorite of mine, so I'm going to take her and her partner. Yeah. Another sleeper.
Caleb?
Yeah, I've got Atchity and Duralde on this one. I think had this been the Machine and Irwin, had that happened, I think that's a team that could have gone to the Final Four. Yeah. I think, and potentially, even gotten to the final match, maybe. But I think with this Walton guy, he's never played before. I don't know. I don't have a good feeling about this team. There's a chance it could be an upset there and they win, but I've got Atchity and Duralde.
Yeah, I mean, I will point something out. It's like us here, we know who Chance Ellison is, people who compete in these online leagues, and he'll be making his debut in the Schmoedown, and most people are like, who's this guy? Brian Walton could have the same kind of impact that a Chance Ellison can have. We just don't know who he is. So, I mean, I'm always going to root for Janine, but on the surface, I got to take Atchie and Duralde. All right, next up, we got Little Evil, JTE, and the Professor Lon Harris taking on the only team that didn't get broken up, the Wildberries, with Josh McCougan and Elliot Dewberry. We all love the Wildberries. Their antics are legendary, but how good of a shot do they really got to beat JT and Harris? I think this will be a decisive victory for them. What do you think, Haven?
I think that JTE and Lon Harris are going to KO these guys in at the end of the first round. I think it's going to be like 19-4, and the match is going to be over.
Well, I mean, I know you're really speaking like kind of sarcastically, but it's actually impossible for them to get 19 points.
Why? Oh, wait, 8 and 8. I thought it was 10. All right, so 8 and 8, so they could get 16. No,
the most they could get is 18 if they both got perfect rounds.
KO in the second round. Wild Bears are going to come out having a good time, and then they're going to lose and feel bad trying to sober up.
Yeah. Caleb?
I really like the Wild Berries, and I wish they had been put up against somebody else. Like, had they been put in either the Atchity Giralde match or the Machine Walton match, I'll admit, either of those players, I would have had the Wild Berries winning. Maybe that sounds crazy, but I would have had the Wild Bears beating them. But against JTE and Harris, this is the team I have going all the way and winning the tournament. I've got JT and Harris winning. So, yeah, no. I feel bad because I love the Wild Bears, and it's so great that this is the one team that's not broken up. Wild Berries! But, it is what it is. JT and Harris, this is a powerhouse team, and I'm excited to see this match.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have them going quite that far, but they are going to be a good team. Next up, we got former team champion, the Godfather, Drew McWeeny, teaming up with Miss Movies, Brianne Chandler, and they're going to be taking on Whitney Seibold and Mark Edward Hawk. Now, we've seen Whitney in the league, when him and Bibbs were partners, they had some success. Mark Edward Hawk, I've heard of this guy, but don't really know how vast his knowledge is, so I'm going with the Godfather and Miss Movies on this one. Just on cheer. Like, I think they're going to complement each other extremely well. Like, Brienne's one of her big strengths is like dance movies. I'm pretty sure McWeeny probably has no idea about those kinds of films, and he'll cover her gaps in like classics and 70s and 80s. So yeah, I'm taking them to win this, and I had McWeeny and Chandler reaching the finals. Caleb, who you got in this match?
Yeah, I've got McWeeny and Chandler. Here's the thing: I've heard like some small hype about this Hewitt guy, but here's the thing: from what it looks like, I feel like Whitney Seibold and Mark, is that his first name, Mark?
Mark Edward Hawk.
Oh, Mark Edward Hawk. Yeah, I think that, they're going to be too similar. I think this is going to be a team that's going to be a little too, they're going to have the same kind of strengths, same kind of weaknesses. They're not really going to be able to protect each other's weaknesses. So, yeah, I've got McWeeny and Chandler beating this one.
Yeah. Haven?
Yep. I concur with both of you gentlemen. I have McQueenie and Chandler winning this one. She's hungry, and of course he's hungry. Title back. I think this is a great pairing. I think they'll complement each other. I think the other team might be too similar. Seibold, we've seen him play great in tag teams, but just not enough to really gauge him. I think he is one of those players that just hasn't had an opportunity to play a lot of more matches, because he does have a real villainous attitude. That guy just seems like he spits venom, but we just haven't seen it in doses. And I think the match, with his partner Hulk, I think the match could be really go down to the wire. But my bracket, I have Whitney. I have Whitney and Chandler winning.
Yeah. All right, so we'll move into the second round now. Now, we all three of us, we had Roque and Merle winning their match. We had Kalinowski and Ellison. Everybody knows I got Kalinowski and Ellison winning this entire thing. So, Haven, who do you got winning this match?
Which match again? Sorry.
Roca, Merle, Kalinowski, Ellison.
Like it.
Roca and Merle.
Oh, okay.
I mean, Chance is an amazing player, but it's a team match. A lot of people that know Chance are really behind him, which is understandable. Everybody should be behind him. If you know the guy, he's a great guy. He's a fucking amazing human being, So I'm rooting for him all the way, but it's a team match, So if Mike only gets 4 points, even if Chance gets 8 in the first round, Mike still needs to make points. And if Dan Merle and Roca just knock it out the park in the first round, then it's going to be difficult. But I see the veterans getting this one because out of all 4 of them, I think Kalinowski, to be honest, is the weakest link in that match.
Yeah, I see your point, Caleb.
Yeah, for all the reasons Hayden just said, I've got Merle and Roca. I think that's a powerhouse team, and Kalinowski. Yeah, he just isn't like amazing in movies. He's good in movies, but I don't know. I've really got Merle and Roca. I think it's going to be close, but yeah, I think Merle and Roca are going to pull it off.
Alrighty, well, next up we got, I believe we had Bibiani and Nos all winning their first match, and I know you guys went with Zipper and Fouch, but I got Bibiani and Nos taking on Riley and Bateman. I have Riley and Bateman winning that match, so you guys, Caleb, you give your version of like how you think that in that part of the bracket's going to go.
Yeah, my version is Bibiani and Nos versus Zipper and Fouch, and I've got Bibiani and Nos taking that one. I think Zipper and Fouch, like I said, I think that's going to be a good team, but I think Bibiani and Nos are going to be a powerhouse team, a tough team to beat. I think Matt Nos is a good supporting player. Bibiani, just on such a hot streak right now, I got them winning.
Yeah. Haven?
I have Zipper and Fouch going up against. Did I pick Bibiani and Nos, Irwin and Graves? Yeah, I think I did.
I think you picked Irwin and Graves, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think Irwin. I think it's going to be Irwin and Graves beating Zipper and Noach for the.
Okay.
For the I guess Eastern Conference semifinals until they go to the finals against Dan Merle and Roca.
All right, well, yeah, we'll stay on this side of the bracket. You guys obviously took Roca and Merle to defeat Kalinowski and Ellison. I have Kalinowski and Ellison facing Riley and Bateman, with Kalinowski and Ellison winning that, of course. So in your basically like the conference finals, who do you got in that part of the bracket, Caleb?
Yeah, I've got Roca and Merle versus Bibiani and Matt Nos. And I've got Roca and Merle winning that one. Again, that would be a close match, but I've got Roca and Merle edging that one out.
Do you have Roca and Merle winning this entire thing?
No, I've got JT and Harris winning this entire thing.
All right. Haven?
I have Roca and Merle versus Irwin and Graves, and I believe that this is when Irwin and Graves. I got Roca and Dan Merle beating those guys going to the finals.
Okay. All right, we'll move to the other side of the bracket. We got we all took Snyder and Draco to win their first match, and we got them taking on Matt Ashley and Alonzo Duralde. I mean, Haven, you took Janine and Brian Walton. Haven, who do you got winning in that match with the Machine and Brian Walton taking on Snyder and Draco?
I got Snyder and Draco winning that match. I think that since those guys been friends before, frenemy, and they were in the Lions Den, I think they both have something to prove, and I think that they're going to win that one and advance.
Yeah, I have Snyder and Draco defeating Atchity and Duralde to reach the conference finals. Caleb, how about you?
Yeah, I've got Snyder and Draco beating Atchity and Giralde. I think Atchity and Giralde, they're a solid team, but I don't know. If Snyder can get his act together, that team's going to be tough to beat.
Yeah. All right, next up we have we all took JTE and Lon Harris to win their first match, and I believe we all took McWeeny and Chandler. For me, I got McWeeny and Chandler reaching the finals, so I'm going with them. Caleb, how about you?
Oh man, to me this is the toughest of these round 2 matches that I have. This is the toughest one to pick. But I've got JT and Harris because I think that's just going to be, a super team. That's who I've got winning. JTE, he's got, the sports movies. He's got, the action movies, all that. And Lon Harris has more of the classy movies. He's got, the indie movies, the dramas, what have you. So I think that team is going to work super well together. I think McQueen and Chandler are going to play well. But, the last time Chandler was in a team match, she didn't fare too well. So, I've got JT and Harris winning this one.
Haven?
Yeah, I do as well, man, because JTE beat both of those players when he was a team with Schneider, So
well, McWeeny beat him twice too, though.
What?
McWeeny has beaten JT twice in teams.
Yeah, but I still have JT and Lon Harris winning this one. I think that team just has a little more well-rounded, a little more diverse. Even though McQueenie has, he's a really strong competitor. But I have both former champions in this finals. I have JT and Lon Harris versus Snyder and Draco.
All right, so we'll move on to that. I had McWeeny and Chandler winning that last match, so I got them defeating Snyder and Draco. Caleb, as you've already said, you got JT and Harris winning this whole thing, so you like to give some points on why you're favoring them so slightly over Snyder and Draco?
Yeah, I think Snyder and Draco, they're both solid players, but I think they're both great players, but I think that Lon Harris and JT, there's going to be something magic that happens there. I think that team is just going to be so great together. Lon Harris is a player who, despite losing to Ethan Irwin, he did super well with the points in that match when he played in singles against Ethan Irwin, and it's, a contender for match of the year, my personal favorite match of the year. I think Lon Harris is just great, and I think JT is a player that when he comes to play and when he can click, and I think he can do wonders, and I think Lon Harris they are going to click, and that's why I've got them winning that whole thing.
Yeah, and you're absolutely right. Lon's match against Ethan was one of the best matches of the year. Hayden?
Yeah, like I said, I have JTE and Lon Harris facing and Draco and Schneider. I think this is when storylines are going to just explode. I think that's going to be a great conference finals. And I see JTE and Lon Harris winning this. They still have Finstock since the team broke up. I think this is great. This reminds me of WWF from the 80s. Lon Harris right now is like Mr. Perfect. He just needs somebody around. Finstock's like Bobby Heenan. And JTE, man, he's really advanced with his trivia knowledge, man. I think this team's just going to roll over these people. And I see them winning it all, too. I see them beating Snyder and then Draco, and I see them beating Roca and Merle. I see JTE being a 2-time champion with Lon Harris actually having the title.
Alrighty. Well, I got in the finals. I got Kalinowski and Ellison taking on McWeeny and Chandler, and I'm going with Kalinowski and Ellison. I think Chancellor's going to put the entire league on those. JT, these are all some great teams. JT and Harris, McWeeny, Chandler, Snyder, and Draco, but I don't think any of them are prepared for what Chance Ellison is gonna do. So Caleb, in the finals, you obviously said you got JT and Lon winning this thing. You got them defeat against Merle and Roca in this finals match.
Yep. That'd be close, but yeah, JT and Harris, I think they're going to pull off the victory there.
All right, well, this was a lot of fun. It's going to be interesting to see how this all shakes out. Unless you guys have any other thing you want to add, I think that about wraps up.
Yeah, I think it'll be interesting to see which one of our brackets gets busted first. You know? Yeah, I think Haven is going to get busted first because he's got Irwin and Graves winning that one. But if that doesn't happen and Irwin and Graves do win, then both of our brackets are destroyed.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be a fun ride. And on Friday, we didn't actually get a match. We got the player profiles for Clark Wolf, Jason Inman, and Dan Merle. I'm curious with this whole tournament going on, when we're actually going to get Guy and Roca facing each other. I'm curious about that.
I think it's going to happen soon. I'm thinking in the that's a good question. Maybe I'm thinking 3 to 4 weeks because they still have to have matches go on, single matches. Everything ain't just going to be tag team matches. So they're going to
on the schedule. That's what it says for the next month.
Oh,
I think once round 1 is over, I think then that's when we're going to get Roca and Guy. Once round 1 of the Anarchy tournament is done.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, because whoever wins that match to face Bibiani for the title, I think that'll be held off until the Spectacular.
Yeah.
All right, well, that about does it. Everybody out there watching, I hope you enjoyed this episode. And Caleb, where can everybody find you?
Yeah, and actually, one thing I disagree with you there about the Spectacular thing because they're gonna have they're gonna do it before the Ultimate Schmoedown tournament. They're gonna have the winner of Roca and Guy play Bibiani because they'll have the singles tournament. That's at the Spectacular. That's too. But yeah, you can find me at Caleb Boatman on YouTube where I do Schmoedown reactions. I've been getting some of the ones that I was a little late on done this week, and I'm going to have a couple more uploaded today. But yeah, and then you can also find my show that I host with Cameron Haas called Schmoedown Countdown. Later tonight, we are counting down the top 10 Schmoedown upsets. So Andrew Guy is definitely going to be discussed in that match or in that episode. And then you can find me on Monday playing Christopher Day in an Inner Geekdom match right here on Jack of All Trivia. That's going to be fun. And you can, find me playing trivia. And you can always find me as much as I can be on Schmoedown All Access every Sunday, usually at 3 o'clock Eastern Time. Back to you, C-Dub.
Definitely. Haven?
You can find me on Facebook at Jack of All Trivia. And that's how you get a part of, that's how you get in touch with us and be a part of all these shows we have. And of course, you can find me on YouTube at Jack of All Trivia.
And to everybody out there watching, a little note. With the new NFL season now underway, we will be moving the show to Saturday evenings starting next week. Because for one, I don't miss watching my NFL. I'm a hardcore fan. But I hope you all enjoyed this episode. You can find me on YouTube at Christopher Woodburn, Twitter, Chris Woodburn83, Facebook, Christopher Michael Woodburn. And if you do Schmoedown reactions, trailer reactions, come join the MTS Fan Reaction League. We also, new episodes of Schmoedown All Access starting next week on Saturdays, like I said. So for Caleb, for Haven, I'm C-Dub. Until next week, peace.